Extinguishing the Fires, Chapter 10, The Fire of Grief. The fire of grief is more horrible than any fire of the body. We're talking now about a mental feeling. This kind of feeling is manifested, for example, in parents who feel so terrible when their children don't live up to certain standards. It's the bad feelings that people often have with respect to their children, their family, their business, their job, and other people and things close to their hearts. While the fire of grief burns that very heart, its flame is imperceptible to others. It continues to burn, always, except while the person is sleeping. Those burned by the fire again and again will look older than they are, their body adversely affected by the stress and strain of near-constant grief. How do we extinguish the fire of grief? People whose hearts are burned by the fire of grief lack understanding, proper attention, and a meditation practice. People and other external things can hurt a person's external body, but really, they have no real power over one's inner heart. In fact, terrible pain in the heart arises as a result of unwise attention. A noble person who has attained the third or fourth stages of enlightenment could receive a serious injury from an angry and aggressive person and would feel absolutely no mental pain at all. Ordinary people, on the other hand, must always use wise and proper attention when confronted with disagreeable sights or sounds in order to prevent the burning of the fire of grief. Otherwise, if we lazily let the fire of grief burn and burn us again in every situation, we are not only cruel to 67 Venerable Ajahn Chaya ourselves, but also behaving in a way that is unworthy of those who hope to be noble beings. If we come across the Buddha's dispensation but fail to employ its tactics, then we can't expect to receive any of its benefits. Failing to be a good follower of Lord Buddha is a big lost opportunity. It's a bit like catching fire with an extinguisher next to you, but failing to use it to save yourself. Instead, you just moan and mourn. How foolish is that? Whatever we see or hear, whether it's pleasant or unpleasant, we should just know it as seeing or hearing. Don't let it go beyond that. Don't allow yourself to see or hear a person, a man, a woman, nice or ugly, good or bad. Sights and sounds arise and disappear every moment, as fast as lightning. The same is true with respect to seeing consciousness and hearing consciousness. All sights, sounds, and even minds arise and then disappear immediately. Be present. Don't waste time reflecting on what's been experienced in the past. Don't allow the fire of grief to burn you. Except for those times when we are in deep sleep or practicing sitting meditation, it is our nature as human beings to keep our eyes and ears open and alert. As such, during our daily lives we see and hear so many things, pleasant and unpleasant. Other than for practical occasions that warrant our involvement, I suggest that we use the experiences of seeing and hearing as either objects of wise reflection or as direct objects of meditation. We human beings were not spontaneously born like angels. We live in societies, with parents, brothers, sisters, and other family members. In order to provide for ourselves and our families, we must work. There are 68 extinguishing the fires times when we have to face health issues due to exposure to toxic chemicals or perhaps imbalances of our bodily elements, earth, water, fire, and air. It is a law of nature that nothing in this world is permanent. Whether an object is animate or inanimate, there eventually comes a time when everything decays and ultimately disappears. No one can order anything to last long, much less forever, because mind and matter are uncontrollable. Therefore, when the time comes for a loved one to move on or die, say bye-bye and carry on alone. In time, we'll have to move on or die as well. Those who have Dhamma in their hearts and consider this natural law of impermanence can find some relief from the heart burning. Even better, those who practice meditation and gain higher insight knowledge can become free from physical and mental suffering. In the meantime, as we work our way through the trials and tribulations of developing our practice of meditation, we should just accept as natural the waxing and waning of businesses, jobs, and other worldly matters. Life is an up and down affair, so to speak, dependent upon our actions and our abilities. Due to mismanagement, lack of knowledge, excessive greed, or simply trying to shortcut our way to success, we can sometimes find that our general carelessness in life causes us to lose everything we've managed to get our hands on. But even with good knowledge, right effort, and appropriate care, we can still lose everything owing to our bad karma from the past. Although those in positions of rank and wealth may avoid most misfortunes in daily life, there is no one exempt from feeling the eventual repercussions of their past misdeeds. It's a fact of natural law. After all, whatever 69 Venerable Ajahn Chaya happens is just temporary. Nothing is permanent. A current experience will not last forever. If you suffer a loss, don't be disappointed. Instead, do your best to regain it in a skillful way. In fact, with the right approach, you just might get back what was lost better than before. It's possible. There's no need to let the fire of grief burn your heart endlessly. Love yourself. When we consider this physical body, we see an abundance of suffering. Many kinds of diseases and diseases appear to it over the course of one's life. In daily life, we encounter cold, heat, thirst, hunger, the need to urinate and defecate, and so on and on. We are constantly tortured by these bodily requirements from birth to death. As we age, even more diseases and diseases present themselves. Yet more suffering. The only solution to this problem, in other words, the only way to finally rid ourselves of this cruel body, is to practice meditation. If we fail to take advantage of this critical resource, serious grief can overcome us, we lose sleep, stop eating, and our longevity is shortened under the weight of it all. When you know for yourself that your heart is aflame with the fire of grief, immediately note it. Grief, grief, grief. Know it as a mental experience, and nothing more. When you do, you will see that the grief disappears right away. Why is that? It is because two consciousnesses cannot exist in the same moment. When there is grief, there is no room for wholesome consciousness rooted in wisdom to arise. But, when there is wholesome consciousness rooted in wisdom, there is likewise no room for unwholesome grief consciousness to arise. Therefore, as long as we are 70 extinguishing the fires, engaging in our meditation practice, there will be no room for the fire of grief to arise or burn. Lacking a meditation practice, the fire of grief has ample opportunities to burn our hearts. We should not let our precious time in life pass in vain. O my Dhamma friends, through your practice of meditation may you successfully extinguish the fire of grief forever. 71.